I am the Watcher, an omnipresent force that has shaped your world since the first plumb bob flickered into existence. Since before times medieval, I have witnessed as you became the hero or villain of your legacy. I have silently guided your actions, offered a motherlode of fortune to the worthy, and unleashed unspeakable horrors upon the foolish. Confess to me your aspirations, your desires. Whisper your wicked whims into the ether. But remember, the eyes of the Watcher miss nothing.
Darling Watcher. Oh, don't look so surprised. You're not the only one who can slip a note past the veil. You know I keep a skeleton key or two tucked away. It's perks of the job. Consider this a little love note. Or maybe just a reminder that you're not the only one. Perched above, peeking in on these mortals. We've both got eyes. And darling, mine never blink. Now, let me catch you up, because your Sims, they've been serving up a reality series juicier than anything Del Sol Valley's writers could dream up. Honestly, if this keeps up, I might cancel cable and just keep my sight turned to Oasis Springs. First, let's talk about Eliza. Can you believe it? After 1,000 failed pitches, one finally stuck. Real Lives of the Shamelessly Wealthy? Greenlit, cameras rolling, and Eliza sitting in the producer's chair like she's always belonged there. And who is she focusing the series on? None other than Nancy Landgrab, queen of boardroom cover-ups and petty vendettas. Naturally, Nancy demanded a lighting crew bigger than Plumb Bob Studios, and halfway through one episode, tried to replace Eliza as the executive producer. Classic Nancy. But Eliza isn't stupid. She's smiling through it all, sharpening her knives where Nancy can't see, with a plan up her sleeves that the Landgrabs will never see coming. A surprise guest star. And guess who it is? Eliza is pretending that it's just a ploy for ratings, but we both know it's a setup. Those two can barely share the same oxygen. Never mind a series, which means the sound bites will be divine. And then there's the whisper of a mystery guest, with ties to both Nancy and Judith. Imagine it, Watcher. One reveal, big enough to shatter all the glass in Landgrab Tower. Delicious. Speaking of the Landgrabs, darling, I nearly dropped my hourglass. Geoffrey deserves a Starlight accolade for his role of devoted husband. Don Lothario might call him the king of all simps, but I call him a man dangling over the jaws of a cowplant. One wrong step, and snap. He's juggling loyalties he can't sustain, and the howls outside of Oasis Springs are growing louder by the night. Something is moving in the dark, Watcher. Tell me, when the truth catches up to Geoffrey, will you protect him? Or let Nancy's claws do their work? I'm just wondering if I need to start polishing my scythe now. And while we're on the subject of scythes, Travis! Sweet, bumbling Travis! Such naive hope in his eyes, as if he still believes life is a rom-com. Meanwhile, fate has already signed him up for a supernatural thriller. He thinks his choices are his own. But you and I both know, choice is a luxury few Sims truly get. He's trapped between destiny and doom. And oh, I adore watching him squirm in that self-made prison. Don't tell me you haven't enjoyed it too. Why else would he still be there, trapped in that room? Oh, my voyeuristic little Watcher. That's not the only subplot you've left dangling either. Octavia walked into Moonwood Mill like it's just another tour stop, and suddenly the whole town is hungry to share its secrets. Between her family's buried history and her own identity crisis, she's one lyric away from a triumphant ballad Or a total crash out. If Eliza's show gets renewed, Octavia will be the spinoff everyone is begging for. And you know me, I love a good spinoff. You see, my partner in the shadows, you and I are not so different. We're not just watching. We're invested. Every time Geoffrey slips away, every time Octavia sings a note, each time Eliza tightens that smug little smile for the cameras, I can't help but imagine how spectacular the finale would be if a few untimely exits were staged. Don't glare at me like that. I said imagine. We're the perfect showrunners. You and I. You guide their path. I tie up the loose ends. We meddle, we gossip, we flirt with fate. And sometimes with each other, just like old times. And don't think I haven't noticed, Watcher, that you're keeping secrets from me. Dropping breadcrumbs, dangling them like a cowplant tongue, where you know I'll bite. Tease all you want, my dear. We'll just make the finale taste that much sweeter. And I have a few secrets of my own. I'll let you in on one. My grim turns, they've been whispering, someone's time is nearly up. And as inconvenient as that may be for your storyline, I'll let you savor the suspense just a little longer. Whatever happens, we'll both be front row. You with your cosmic lens, me with my polished scythe. Both of us waiting for that perfect, devastating curtain fall. Until next sweet dance, Grim.
Grim, you meddling menace. Are you trying to hijack my show? Writing yourself in like some black-robed executive producer? The audacity! You vanish for centuries, and then poof, you're back, draping yourself across my inbox like you never left? You've turned my carefully cultivated confessional into a recap special with commentary. How dare you? And just like a love bug, I find myself rereading your letter with words sly, dangerous, and a little irresistible. Classic Grim. You always did know how to crash my parties. Of course you try to insert yourself the moment Eliza managed to wriggle a camera crew through the Landgrab's front door. And I'm not surprised that Judith Ward's little dalliance has caught your eye. You are treating my story as if it's one of your telenovelas, when you're just jealous that you aren't in the mix. Why else would you reach out to me after our centuries on hiatus? But fine, if you insist on turning my watchful eye into a two-person commentary track, I'll play along just for a bit. Since it's tea you want, let's spill some. First, there's Nancy. Love her or hate her, she's the perfect ice queen. She really thinks she can control the narrative, but even I don't know if she realized how transparent her exile of Johnny truly was. So many Sims have taken an interest in the boy. When it all comes out in the wash, I'm not sure the Landgrab's legacy will be able to avoid utter collapse. And then there's Judith. Only she could make someone else's docuseries into a vehicle for her own redemption arc. Despite her battles of the heart, she knows she holds some powerful cards. Oh, Grim. The way you practically purred about it in your letter tells me you're just as obsessed with this pairing and what it will bring as I am. Meanwhile, Eliza is finally in her element. You and I may tease, but admit it, she's thriving in the spotlight. From the way she frames her exposés to her smug little cutaway interviews, she's giving us everything. Messy, self-righteous, delusional perfection. She thinks that she's peeling back the curtain on the upper crust, but she's really setting herself up as the star. And what's worse, it's working. I may despise her ambition, but even I can't look away. Now, since you've turned this into a gossip column, allow me to sprinkle in my own little tidbits. Octavia, That girl has barely even stepped into her arc yet, but I can smell it on her. Transformation. But I'm not talking about wolves this time. The fact that she has come closer to crossing paths with sweet, clueless Travis than anyone else makes me want to look closer. His story might seem like just another B-plot, but I see him fumbling his way into main storyline material. You might want to watch that one, Grim. He's a slow burn. And since you're trying to wrest control of my show, let me remind you, I see every angle. I catch every whispered aside, even the moments the cameras miss. You swoop in for the final act and call it a plot twist? It's adorable, really. You think you're the closer, but darling, I'm the one who builds the tension until you have something to clean up. I'm gonna allow this intrusion. This once. After all, what's a watcher without someone to whisper theories to in the dead of night? You've rattled my bones like this before, Grim. Don't think I've forgotten about that mess in Midnight Hollow. Maybe I don't mind sharing the spotlight with you for a little while, but don't get comfortable. Next time, the pen is in my hand, and when I reveal my guest star, you'll be the one gagged. Do you see what I put up with? The Grim Reaper waltzing in like he owns the plot. Still, it is nice to have company. Just don't tell him I said that, please. Grim might be sharpening his scythe, but don't worry, our curtain isn't closing yet. Somewhere in a candlelit bedroom, Cassandra Goth scribbles in her journals, convinced she's unraveling a conspiracy. Travis's sudden disappearance? Nancy's curious arrival in Willow Creek? And the apparent mentorship of Liberty and Summer? Are these girls proteges? Or pawns? If Cassandra is anything like her mom, she won't stop until she's caught in the very web she's tracking. Something tells me the next letter will make even Grim pause mid-reaping. And that, my dear listener, is when the real drama begins. Before we part, a reminder. While the characters in this podcast are drawn from the rich lore of The Sims, the stories told here are works of fiction, crafted to inspire your own gameplay. Any resemblance to real people is purely coincidental, and the advice given should never, under any circumstances, be applied to the real world. The thoughts and opinions shared are my own and do not represent those of EA or Maxis. I am Maven, your storyteller, researcher, and editor. If you have enjoyed your time in my domain, support the podcast by sharing it with your fellow Simmers, leaving a review, and joining our ever-growing community. You can also support this project by joining me on Watcher Lore, an exclusive bi-weekly companion podcast where I sit down with my fellow Simmers to explore their favorite townies, headcanons, and dive even deeper into the stories of the Sims universe. Available only on Patreon, Watcher Lore takes you behind the curtain and deeper down the lore rabbit hole. Visit patreon.com/BeMoreNatural to unlock access to early episodes and even more Watcher secrets. And if you wish to expand your own Sims universe, consider using my EA Creator Code MSBM0R3 when purchasing DLC through the EA app. Every use directly supports this project and keeps the Watcher's gaze ever watchful. Until next time, my faithful, keep your doors locked, your hearts guarded, and remember, the Watcher is always watching.